All right, y'all. So is there a trucking shortage or is it a company shortage? So let's talk about it. So people love to say, the media loves to put out, oh, it's a shortage of truck drivers. Companies love to talk about, oh, we're so short on drivers. It's a trucking shortage. Nobody wants to be a truck driver. That's bullshit. Excuse my language. That's bullshit. Now, it's a lot of things that companies don't tell you. And it's a lot of things that the media doesn't tell you. And I'm going to speak for over-the-road drivers because there's a lot of companies out there that are not having this problem. So no. It's not a truck driver shortage. It's a company shortage. And I'm not talking about my company. There's certain companies out there that are always struggling and scrambling to find drivers. Now, if you go to your local truck stop, okay, if you're a believer, if you're somebody that believes it's a shortage in truck driver, I want you to go to your local truck stop, go to your local Flying J, Loves, and I want you to ask me, or I want you to ask yourself, is that truck stop empty or is it full? If it's full, then there's your answer. It's no shortage, because if it was a shortage in truck drivers, those truck stops would be empty at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, all the way up to the next morning. Now, people love to say, you know, it's a shortage in truck drivers, but yet that same company, they're the same company that's paying their drivers 30 cents a mile, you know, 35 cents a mile, 40 cents a mile. These companies have these issues because they don't want to pay their drivers, you know. And also you get for like companies like CR England, Swift, CRST, you know, those companies that pay low, JB Hunt, you know, they want these drivers to be out 3 weeks at a time, damn near a month at a time, but then only want to pay them a few $100s a week. Like, who wants to be away from their family weeks and weeks and weeks at a time, have to deal with all the bullshit, you know, deal with rude shippers, rude consignees, ridiculous wait time in the dock? Like, who wants to deal with that for like maybe $700 a week? Like, who wants to deal with that, you know? Now, there's companies out there, like I said, they're not struggling to find drivers, you know, they're not struggling maintaining drivers. So I think it's these companies. It's not that it's not that nobody wants to drive a truck, because there's millions of us out there, you know. Go down your local interstate, you'll see how many of us are out there, especially if you drive at night, thousands of us out there. You know, you don't see these LTL carriers, you know, struggling to find, well, I take that back. Depending on where you live, some are struggling, but a lot of us are not struggling to find drivers, you know. Now, it's a reason why these mega carriers have high retention rates. You know, there's mega carriers out there where they're quitting by the dozens daily. You know, it is what it is. And it's for a lot of reasons. They're finding better companies, you know, that'll give them better pay, better home time, better benefits, and will treat them better. Like, there's some companies out there that will treat you like the gum on the back of their shoe. You know, they'll treat their drivers terrible, you know, talk to their drivers any old type of way, short them out of their miles, short them out of their pay. And like, it gets tiring after a while. Like, no driver wants to deal with that. Now, for the new people that are tuning in, I'm not an OTR driver anymore. I did OTR for a good little minute, but now I do LTL. I'm an LTL Linehaul driver. But like I said, this drivers, they're only gonna put up with so much, you know, before they decide to jump ship and go to another company. You know, it's a reason why people quit this company for this company, or they leave this company to go to this company. You know, it's a reason why. You know, it's not that they're out all this time. It's not that they get tired of the particular freight, you know. Every driver out here, they're looking for the next best opportunity. You know, they're looking for the companies that are gonna have the best benefits. They're looking for the companies that'll give them the great home time. They're looking for the companies, you know, that'll put the most money in their pocket. You know, so these companies like CR England are paying like low, you know, nobody wants to deal with that, you know. Now, I get, if you're new in the industry, you know, you gotta get it how you live, you know, you gotta get your experience somewhere. But a lot of these drivers, you know, they're not settling for these companies, you know, that aren't paying, you know. Companies that have horrible benefits, they're not gonna settle for that, you know. Now, again, if you're somebody that believes it's a shortage in truck drivers, you don't know what a shortage is. A shortage is when you go to your local Walmart or your local Publix and the shelves are empty. Now, that's when it's gonna be a shortage, you know, when you don't have these OTR drivers going to these DCs bringing the product, you know, that's when you have a shortage. That's when you're gonna really have issues. But as far as, is there a shortage in the trucking industry? So I don't believe that there are. I don't believe that there is. You know, that's just, you know, my personal opinion. Don't try to throw me on the cross. That's just my personal opinion. I just believe that certain companies are having shortages, you know. And I mean, if they want to stop losing drivers, then maybe they should pay their drivers, you know, pay them. These mega carriers, guys, they have millions and millions, some of them billions of dollars. There's no reason why they should be paying their drivers, you know, 30 cents a mile, 20 cents a mile. Like, pay your drivers. If you want to keep your drivers, pay your drivers, pay them. You know, treat your drivers with respect. Stop talking to your drivers any old kind of way, you know. Point blank period. Give your drivers better benefits. I know somebody's gonna say, oh, it doesn't make sense to pay their drivers because they're just gonna leave. Well, again, if you pay your drivers and treat them like a human, they won't leave. I mean, look at these LTL carriers. You got people at the company that's been there 30 plus years. And if you go to any LTL company, you're gonna notice too, you're gonna get somebody that says, oh, I've been at Old Dominion for 30 years, or I've been at Estes for 35 years, or I've been at AAA Cooper for 20 years. It's a reason why they've been at that company for so long, because it's something that company's doing right that's making that driver stay. You know, but you can go to Stevens and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I quit after 7 months. Oh yeah, I stayed there for 2 weeks. You know, it's a reason. It's a reason, guys. And if corporate is watching this, you know, if you're a corporate person for these mega carriers, you know, take notes, get your notepad out, take notes, pay your drivers, you know. Ask yourself, why am I losing drivers by the week?